Good afternoon. Okay. Do you have any questions? Any question? So I'm going to continue chapter 2 and solve more problems.
Are we on like 2.5 or 2.6?
Okay, so I'm going to start with your question. Okay. So we have a question related to percentage. Okay, first of all, I will explain percentage, and then I will solve this problem. So what is percentage? Percentage says out of 100. Out of 100. So 2%, this is a notation, means 2 out of 100, correct? So now we can show this 2% with different, in different way. How? One is 2 over 100, another is 0.02, correct? So these are different way of showing percentage. And then if you want to say this much percent of a specific number, we will write down, for example, 2% of y is equal to 2 over 100 multiplies to y. You can show this with 0.02 y. These both are the same. Now I will go through this question because this is much easier than that one, and then I will go through this. Okay, it says the wildlife refugee rangers tagged 144 deer. They estimate that they have tagged 36% of the deer in the refuge. So they have tagged 36% of all refugees. So let's say all the wildlife refugee was y, unknown variable that we don't know what is that, correct? 36% of all refugee deer is tagged. They are saying it in this form. So now we know how many of them are already tagged, correct? They gave us the information. So it's not, instead of this, we can write down 144 of them, correct? And then this is the equation. We want to solve this equation for y, to see how many refugees we have all over. So multiply, you know what? Most equation, if we have denominator, we want to get rid of denominator. So as soon as you see this 100 here, you want to get rid of this, correct? So multiply both sides by 100 will help you to get rid of this 100.
Because it's the least common denominator.
Yes. Multiplies to 100. Both sides. So 100 in this side with this denominator will cancel. So we will have 36y equal to 144 multiplied. 100 is 14400. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
What was your question?
Oh no, I didn't have a question. No, I just...
So now we have this equation, correct? We want to isolate y. So how we isolate y?
Divide by 36.
Divide both sides by 36. Y is equal to both sides divide by 36. And y was the total number of animals in refugee, right?
Wait, why did you do that?
Simplify that.
Did you divide by 6?
No, I divided this by 2. Am I correct? It will be 7,200.
Oh, okay.
And then I divided this one by 2, which is 18. Am I right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can divide this by 2, which should be 30. No,
Here, wait. I got it. Hold on. Give me 20 seconds.
30.
Yeah, 3,600.
And then divide this by 2 is 9. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then now 9 is 3 multiplies 3. Correct? And this one is also
3.
It has 3.
So it would be like 120 over 3.
120. What you said?
3,600 divided by 3.
36 divided by
1,200.
1, 2 with 2 zeros. And then this one divided by 3 is 3. Correct? And then again I can continue because I know 12 is 4 multiply 3. Correct? And this one is 3 multiply 1. So I have 1,200 divided by 3.
So 400.
Correct. Correct?
Equals 400.
Yes. Because 12 was 4 multiply 3. We cancel. This is 3 multiply 400. This 3 and this 3 cancels. We have 400 over 1, which is 400. Okay? So we found the total number of deer in refugee. So let's go backward. We know now total number of deer is 400, correct? They said they tagged 36% of all deer in the refugee, correct? So I want to see what is 36% of 400.
So you would multiply 436, right? And
so now look at this, 2 0 here, 2 zeros will cancel with these 2 zeros, right? So we are just multiplying 4 to 36. 36 multiplies 2.
It's 144.
So this is the number of tagged deer, correct?
Yes.
So in this way we checked it if our answer was correct.
So when you divide 1,203, you get 400, and nothing would go under the 400.
1 would go there, but still it is same as 400. Okay?
Yes.
Do you have any question? No? Sure? So now, there is this question in homework. It says the population of country in 2015. Let's write this down. The population of country in 2015 population of country in 2015 was estimated to be 3 to 1.6 million people. And then this was the increase of 24% from the population in 1990. What was the population of country in 1990? So there is one unknown variable here. What is that unknown variable? What is unknown for us?
The population of the country in 1990.
Exactly. So let's say population of country in 1990 is X for us. Correct? We know population in 2015 is 3 to 1.6. And we know that population in 2015 is related to the population is 1990. Correct? So it says population in 2015 is 24% increase of population in 1990, correct? So means 24% of 1919. That's the X, correct? 1919 was X. Plus population of 1990. So we had population in 1919 and there was 24% increase added to the population, correct, in 1919. And now we have population in 2015, correct, which is 3 to 1.6, right? So now coefficient of this one is 1, correct? 1x plus 2400x is 1 plus 2400x. This is the only way I can just, write down for you to understand. So the coefficients are adding together, and this one stays same because these are like terms, correct? We have this much x plus 1x. We have 1 plus this much x, correct? Equal 3 to 1.6. 1 is equal to 100 over 100. Is that correct? 1 can be 100 over 100. So I'm continuing like this. 100 over 100 plus 24 over 100. X equal 3 to 1.6. Correct? They are clapping for us over and over. As soon as I say correct, they say yes. Hurrah! Okay, so 100 over 100 plus 24 over 100 is 124 over
100.
100. You should get this.
Yeah, I do. My mouth was gonna say something and then it said something else.
Okay, you got this.
Yes, I do.
124 over 100. X is equal to 321.6. So now we have an equation like previous one. We should get rid of that 100 on the numerator. We are going to multiply both sides by 100, correct? So we will have 124x equal to 321.6 multiply 100, correct? So I'm going to continue here. 124 over 100. X is equal to 321.6. Multiply both sides to 100. We have 124x equal to 321.6. Correct? Multiply that.
I know, I figured it out.
Okay, so now you are dividing both sides by?
By 124.
Thank you. By 124, huh? 124. The answer is
259.35.
259.35, and then Pearson wanted you to round this to 259.4. What is X?
259.
No. Oh, definition of X.
Oh, the definition of X. Oh, the population of the country in 1990.
Exactly. Correct? Population of country in 1990. So we found it. Do you have any question? Is there any question?
It's better that you explain it in steps.
Is there a faster way to find percentage?
Like faster than this?
Not means solving this kind of question.
Yes. Simple.
Correct. So when it says increase, let me. When it says increase, where it says, okay. You can convert this to decimal, and that is 0.24, correct?
That's what they showed us, the
Pearson.
0.24 times x times
No, just times x plus x.
yeah, plus yeah.
When they say increase of this much, you can simplify everything, your equation, to 1.24. When it says increase, because you are adding 1 plus 0.24, and this one was 100%, this one is 24%. If they say decrease, what you should do? 1 minus 0.24. Because they are saying increase, you have 1 plus 0.24. You can use this, you can, understand this as soon as you work more of these problems. You will get used to it, and you know that you are adding 1 because 1 represents 100%. Correct? And that's the reason. So increase is always like this. And then whatever number you are adding together, you should have an unknown variable here equal to the overall number they gave you.
That's what they did.
So if I wanted to solve such a question, I would just write down, so I'm going to solve this. That's it. I wouldn't go through steps because I know they are talking about increase. I know there is a 1 plus 24%, and I will have something like this as a coefficient of x. This is my unknown variable, and this is the result. And just solve this. If it was decreased, I would say 1 minus 24, 70 something, okay? 76. So we would have 0.76x equals something. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we could solve it in this way rather than going through all these steps. And then in economic, you will see lots of this kind of increase, decrease, solving, interest. You have lots of this. Do you have any questions so far?
Thank you. You're welcome.
So now let's see what we have. Okay, this is a good question. So again, we are solving more word problem. Word problem. Word. W-O-R-D. Frank drove at a steady speed for 3 hours on the Turnpike. Turnpike, thank you. Turnpike. He then slowed his traveling speed by 15 miles per hour on the secondary road. So the first thing now I get is this. There is some road like this, and then another road like this. So that was the first road, this is the second road, okay? So there are two separated roads. So one part of my equation plus another part of equation. First road, second road, okay? Because I know in first road, he was driving with a different speed, and then in second road, he's driving with different speed, correct? So I'm going to separate this to two parts. And then I know on first road, he was driving 3 hours, but still I don't know how long he was driving in second road. So I know for sure there are two parts for my equation, okay? So, first road plus second road equal to overall mile, correct?
Yes.
Yes, because it says.
Okay, so let's read again. In first road, he was driving for 3 hours. So here we have 3 hours. Let's say this one is H1, the first time interval we have. He then slowed down traveling speed by 15 miles per hour. Here, the second travel speed is, I'm going to write down, and then we will translate these two kind of equation, the relation between this. 15 miles less than first speed. Am I right?
Yes.
He had one certain speed here. We don't know yet, but we can call that S1, correct? And then the second speed, S2, is 15 miles less than that one, correct? So, my conclusion is that here he had a higher speed, correct? He has a lower speed here, correct? So this bigger speed minus 15 is the second speed. Am I right?
The bigger speed.
Bigger speed minus 15 is the second speed, because second speed is smaller.
Yes.
So, now I know S2 is S1, which is bigger, minus 15. Correct?
Yes.
So you did S1 minus 15 because
The first one is bigger.
The first one is
And then the second one is 15 miles per hour, less than this one. Per hour or per mile? Per mile.
per mile.
Per hour. No.
Per
Mile per hour.
per hour. Miles per
Mile
hour.
per hour.
Same difference.
Okay. So I don't have the second edge. I don't have H2. Correct?
Mhm.
Right?
You don't have it. So
I want to find it here. It says the entire trip took 5 hours total. Okay? Means H1 plus H2 is 5 hours. Am I right?
Yes, it's gonna be 2.
H1 plus H2 is 5 hours. What was H1? 3 plus H2, 5. H2 is
2.
correct? So I have 2 here. Do you have any questions so far? Is that clear? So now, he covered overall, he was driving 245 miles, which is here. 2, 4, 5 miles overall. So now I'm going to make my equation. I have everything I need, all the information. Now I want to make my equation. I will write down. Speed multiplies to hour gives us mileage.
Time.
Time.
Yes.
Gives us mileage, correct? Am I right? The speed multiply hour gives us mileage in the first row. Plus speed multiply time gives us mileage for the second row. Correct? Both mileage together gives us overall mileage.
245.
45. Right?
Yes.
So now, I have a question, but too many unknown variables. But I already know them. We can replace them. Correct? S1 is?
S1, we don't know S1.
You don't know S1.
Yeah, so, well, it's bigger than 15. So it would be,
Let's write it down like this. Because still we don't know. Correct?
yeah, and then
We don't know that.
H1 is 3, so you would put in
Right here. Correct?
plus 15,
No, not 15.
or not 15.
What
Oh,
should I
15,
write?
just kidding. I'm
What should I write down instead of S2?
just kidding. S2.
S1 minus 15, correct?
Oh, yeah,
S1 minus
15.
15. Multiply the second time is 2 hours equal to
245.
245. How many unknown variable I have now? Just one unknown variable. Correct? Now we can solve this. So 3S1 plus, distribute this 2 to each of these terms. Correct? 2 multiply S1 is 2S1. Correct? Minus 2 multiply 15 is 30. Correct? 245. Right? Three S1 and 2S1 is 5S1. 5S1 minus 30 equal to 4, 5. And then bring this to the other side. Correct?
Add it.
Yes. 5 S1 is equal to 2, 4, 5 plus 30. 5, S1 is 2, 7,
275.
5.
Divide by 5 is
S1 is 55 miles per hour. So we found S1, the first speed, correct?
Oh,
What happened?
we still have a second one.
That is easy, correct? Because we have a formula between S2 and S1, right? We can use that formula. We know that S1 minus 15 give us S2 speed in the second row, right? So we have S1, S2 is 55 minus 15 is
40 miles.
Is this correct? So how I can understand it is correct? Because we can compare. We know that the first row, S1 should be bigger than S2, correct? So S1 was 55 miles per hour, and then S2 is smaller, 40 miles per hour. Because he decreased his speed to 40, from 55 to 40. Correct? Do you have any question? So this was I can say, almost the most difficult question for word problem. That is difficult for me to say. Okay, so linear inequality in one variable. So we want to now talk about linear inequality probabilities for x.
So this is 2.6 now?
Yes. So before we are able to solve any inequality equation, we should talk about these kind of boundaries. How we show some boundaries. What less than equal means, what greater than equal means, what less than means, what greater than means. So just as a reminder for you, I will go through this. I know it's so easy for most of the students, but just be patient here because there are some other students, they don't remember this kind of things, okay? Okay, so I will start with some example. 5 is bigger than, give me a number.
2.
2, correct?
Yes.
So this side, this number is bigger than 2. So we read that from left to the right, correct? And this sign says bigger than. Now, there is some unknown variable. This unknown variable is bigger than or equal to 2. It could be equal to 2. It could be bigger than 2. So again, I read that from left to the right, correct?
Yes.
This is bigger or equal because we have equal sign here. Bigger than or equal. Correct?
Yes.
So now 2 is less than, let's say, 5. This is less than. I'm reading from left to the right, correct? 2 is less than 5. And then there is a number here which is less than or equal to, let's say, 5. We don't know what is this number. It could be equal to, it could be less than. Correct? So for all of them, I'm reading from left to the right. But we should always be careful paying attention to the equal sign too. And also the way this shows. This was less than or equal. Correct? Mm-hmm. Now, there are different ways of showing these inequalities. This is what we call this. We can say this is a part of set notation. Do you remember what is set? We show set with these two brackets, correct? So if I put this here, this will be a set. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now it's a set notation. There is another way of showing that on a graph, real number line. Okay? I want to show this on real number line. Oh, actually I cannot show because this is just a number. So I want to show this one. Let's show this real number line. 0 is in middle. 1, 2, 3. And then it is continuing to the right side, all positive number, correct? -1, -2, -3, and to that side. There are some numbers here, we don't know what are those. We just call them x. These numbers are all greater than or equal to 2. So I'm starting from 2 to the left or right or left? Right, because all the numbers to the right side of 2 is bigger than 2, correct? Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to start from here. And there are many numbers here that I don't know. There is some x, there are some number. Bigger than this 2 goes to that side. When you see arrow, means it's still continuing. So x can be anywhere starting from 2. So now we have an equal sign here, correct? Mm-hmm. If we have an equal sign, you should close this bracket. Do you understand this? Either 2 or more. So this shows x greater than or equal to 2. And this is a graph notation on real number line. Now, let's say 2, 3, 1, 0, -1, and that. Let's say I'm going to show x just greater than 2. I know it's all the numbers starting from here to the right side of 2 because it says greater than 2. But because we don't see 2, we don't see equal sign, we cannot include 2 in this interval, correct? So, we leave this open because we are not including 2. So there is a difference between this bracket and this parenthesis. Bracket says we are including 2 here. 2 is included. But here, 2 is not included or excluded. Do you understand this?
So if there's no equal sign, just do this.
You have parentheses. So my way of showing this, or the way I learned, was just a circle instead of bracket. I remember my mom used to write down like this here, and full circle.
Yeah, that's what I used
point.
to do.
And then this one is empty circle.
Yeah, I used to do that.
You are too? One of this time I was teaching that, and my students said they don't understand this circle, and I had to show bracket. That's why I start with bracket. But now there are some nodes that we can show them with circle. Yeah, so empty circle means it's not that number is not included, and full circle means it is included.
So we're using circles, not brackets.
I mean, whatever you feel more convenient, you know.
Okay. Use circles.
Yeah. So now you know both definition, both of, you know, way of showing. So now we just showed greater than equal to and just equal, what's that, greater than, correct? This was all greater than, this was greater than equal to. So now let's show less than equal to and less than, okay? Now we want to show that. 0, 1, 2, let's use 5. 3, 4, 5. We have negative, -2, and so on. And then I want to make the same one and show the difference between include and not included. Okay, so I will show x less than equal to 5 here, and then I want to show x less than 5 here. Okay, so we should have a bracket here or full circle. We should have parentheses here or empty circle, okay? And then 5 is here, starting with 5. So which side is bigger than, less than 5? All these numbers, okay, to this side. So all the numbers to this side, and as long as we have this arrow means it's continuing. Then we have less than equal to. So we should have bracket or full circle, okay? Means 5 is included, right? And here we have all the number to this side of 5, but 5 is not included, correct? So we'll have a parenthesis. Correct? So this is a set notation, graph notation, and then let's show you interval notation using this example. Okay, so when I said x is greater than 2, means all the way to infinity, correct? When I said less than 5, means all the way to negative infinity. Here also goes to negative infinity. Here also goes to positive infinity. So now, we don't know what is infinity exactly. We know there is a huge number, but we don't know what is that. So we never can include that, correct? So that's why we have always open parentheses. We cannot have a bracket because we don't know what is infinity exactly. We know there is a huge number, but we don't know what is that. So always, whenever you have infinity, we should have a parenthesis because it is not included. That's why here, 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 and here, you see all the open parentheses, correct? So now, there is a number x belongs to this boundary. The boundary starts with k and goes to infinity. We don't have an equal sign probably. Look, we don't have an equal sign. That's why we didn't have a bracket on this side. Because we are sure k means that number is not included. Correct? That's why we have open parenthesis. Now, there is a number between k and infinity. This is an interval notation. Interval notation of this set notation. So now, write down 2 instead of k. Write down 2 instead of k. You will understand what this exactly says. It says x belongs to 2 to infinity. So if I say x belongs to 2 to infinity, means x can be 2. Can be 2? No, it cannot be 2. Because it's open. 2 is not included, correct? So x can be any number bigger than 2. Depends. If they are telling us numbers can be decimal, we can say 2 point blah blah, 2 point blah blah, 3, 4, 5, all the numbers up to infinity, okay? But 2 is not included. So now here, it says x is less than or equal to k. Let's put 2 here instead of k. Then we will have x belongs to all the small numbers we have, and we don't know what are those, up to 2, correct? 2 is included. So x is a number less than 2 all the way to the negative numbers. So x can be 2 because 2 is included in this interval, correct? X can be 2, x can be 1, x can be 0, x can be negative, 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 correct? Yes?
Why is there like a parentheses on one side and then the bracket on the other?
Because this one shows here it doesn't have any number, it doesn't show any number, it doesn't include any number, but here on this side there is a number, we are including that number. So interval can be 2 parentheses, means both sides are open. We are not including numbers on the both sides. It can be both sides closed, means we are including both these numbers. It can be one side open, one side closed. So now, if you put, for example, 2 here, 5 here, x belongs to all the number between 2 and 5. 2 and 5 are not included, correct? And then here, x belongs to 2 between 2 and 5. 2 is included, x can be 2, but x cannot be 5. And here we have 2 separated intervals. It started from a negative infinity, all the number less than a is not included, and also we have all the numbers from b to positive infinity, b is not included. So I don't want you to concentrate on this thing because this has more detail. This is union, we have intersection, and we have different name for them, or and in Math 120 you will not see such a thing as answer for your question. If we have that kind of thing at that point, I will talk about that, but not now. So do you remember I said what is this? This means belong to. Do you remember? First lecture I was talking about this sign. This is belong to. Okay, so now let's use all this knowledge to solve problem. Inequality equation. Do you have any question? Any question? No? Okay, so I want to solve just this question. We have 3/8 minus 2 greater than or equal to negative 12. Solve for p. Where is that? Let's solve for x. Do you have any question? Do you have anything to share with us so we can laugh too? We are in lack of laugh. We want to laugh. Sure? Okay, so same as equality, we want to isolate x on one side and then put everything else on the other side. There's one trick actually, we should talk about that too. But now for now, let's continue to see if we see that trick. If we see that, I will explain that. Okay, so I'm going to isolate 3 over 8x. Bring this to the other side. So you know negative sign becomes positive because we are adding 2 on both sides, correct?
Yeah.
So we have negative 12 plus 2. Correct? 3 over 8x greater than or equal to negative 10. Now we are isolating x. We should get rid of that 3 over 8, correct?
Multiply by 8. Because it's the least
Multiply by 8. So we have 3x greater than or equal to negative 18. Correct?
Yes.
Get rid of 3. How?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. Am I correct?
That would be x is less than or equal to 6.
How you read this?
X is less than or equal to negative 8 over 3. We wouldn't divide, right? Or we not?
How you read this? From left to the right. Read this for me. One of you. Someone else.
X is greater than or equal to negative 8 over 3.
Greater than
80.
Greater than or equal to, correct? I said read this from left side to the right side, and this shows this side is greater than. This one greater than this one. So you can simplify that. You can write down negative
26.6.
something decimal, correct?
It's a lot. I'm just gonna
A lot. Okay, leave it like that. We'll have more easy
It's so
examples.
complicated.
Okay, great. So let's solve this one. Solve for x. Negative 2 over 3x plus 1 over 2 less than or equal to 5 over 6.
I would think you multiply
Multiply by what?
by
We want to get rid of fraction, correct?
yeah. So multiply by 6 or by 2. One of those numbers, because you can't multiply it with 3 because that has an x. But those are two like terms, 1/2 and 5 over 6.
When you want to multiply,
So multiply by
you
6.
don't talk about like terms.
No?
You just multiply to all terms. You say that? What is?
I have a different approach on. I say minus minus 1/2 of 5 over 6.
Oh, you want to first bring this to that side.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that, and then I will go back to the way I wanted to solve. Okay. So negative 2 over 3x less than or equal to 5 over 6 minus 1 over 2, because he's bringing this to the other side. So we are subtracting negative 1 over 2. Correct? We have negative 1 over 2 on this side, negative 1 over 2 on this side. That's why. We have negative 2 over 3x less than or equal to
5 over 6 minus 1/2.
What is the answer?
1 over 3.
Oh,
1 over 3.
1 over
1 over 3.
Wait,
Correct?
wait, 4. Wait.
I will solve it
1?
here.
Wouldn't it just be 1? Because 4 divided by 4 is 1.
I will solve it here. 5 over 6 minus 1 over 2 equal to. I want the denominator to be same. I can write down 5 over 6 minus 2 multiply 3, 1 multiply 3.
Oh my god.
So why I did that, first of all, I wanted the denominator to be 6, correct?
And 3 is the least common denominator.
If we multiply this by 3, we have to multiply the numerator also by 3. Always. Why we do that? Because
What you do to one side, you do to the other.
because 3 over 3 is 1.
Yeah.
Correct? It seems we didn't do even anything, nothing. Because this is just 1. We just made an imaginary fraction out of 1. Correct? Out of a kind of hidden 1. That's why we have this 3 over 3. And then if you combine these two, you can multiply this 2 denominator and this 2 numerator. This is the reason we have to multiply that 3 to both numerator and denominator, because there was 3 over 3. So now we have this, okay? 5 over 6 minus 2 multiply 3 is 6, and here we have 3, correct?
3.
Right?
Yes.
Equal to. Denominator is the same. You can write down the denominator.
Oh my god.
And then numerator.
1/3.
From left to the right. This one minus this one. 5 minus 3. From left to the right. Correct? So what we have 2 over? 2 over 6. Which is
1/3.
1 over 3. Correct? So 1 over 3.
Oh.
Correct? Okay, so now both sides I have 3 on denominator, correct? I want to get rid of that. Multiply both sides by
3 over 2. Negative 3 over 2.
we can do that, but I guess we should go step by step, probably. Yeah?
So wait. What are we doing now?
We are multiplying both sides by 3 to get rid of the denominator.
Oh yeah. That's
We have negative 2x less than or equal to 1. And then what you said? Divide by?
Negative 2. No, not.
Divide both sides by negative 2. But right here, we should stop. Why? Because of that note about inequality. So, anyone knows that?
what?
Do you know that?
The sign will reverse or change.
Exactly. So, what happens? Now at this point, we have to divide both sides by negative 2 because we are isolating x, correct? The coefficient of x was negative number. That's why we have to divide by negative number. If we are dividing both sides of equality by a negative number, what happens? This sign will change to greater than.
Oh yeah. Wait. Oh.
We have it there. Okay, so
OMG. I forgot about that.
negative 2x divided by negative 2. Now the sign changes. 1 divided by negative 2. You can cancel this, okay? And then you will not have this anymore. You have x greater than or equal to negative 1 over 2.
Do you have an easier way to do that? No.
My way, I wanted to, you know what I wanted to do? We will learn later how to find the common denominator. But now maybe it's difficult for you to recognize. Shall I start my way of solving this? Okay, so look at this. We have 3 in denominator, 2 in denominator, 6. As soon as I see 3 and 6, I know if I multiply 3 by 2, I will have 6, correct? If I multiply 2 by 3, I will have 6, correct? So they all have something in common, correct? They are all kind of multiple of 6, kind of. So now, if I multiply everything by 6, what happens? I can get rid of this first denominator. How? Because 6 divided by 3
Is 2.
is 2, and that goes to numerator, okay? So
X.
this will kind of, you know, vanish. This will vanish. And then if I multiply this to the second one, 6 over 2, 2 will cancel with the 2 inside 6, correct? And then denominator also will vanish. 6 multiply 5 over 6, so 6 will vanish with this 6, correct? So let's do this. 2, negative 2 multiply 6 over 3x plus 1 multiply 6 divided by 2 less than or equal to 5 multiply 6 divided by 6. Correct? So now, this one cancels with this one. 2 remains. Here 1 remains, but you don't have to write it down. Correct? On denominator. We have just 1. This one cancels with this one. We have 3 here. 1 here. This one cancels with this one. 1 here. So all of denominators are 1. So we can easily ignore that. Correct? They are all 1. So I have negative 2 multiply 2 x plus 3 less than 5. Am I right? Negative 4x plus 3 less than or equal to 5. Negative 4x less than or equal to 5 minus 3. Negative 4x less than or equal to 2. Right? So now at this point, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. Right? So sign will change. Correct? So I have negative 4x less than or equal to 2. Divide both sides by a negative number. So I will get rid of this negative 4. X remains. Sign will change. 2 divided by negative 4. Simplifies to negative 1 over 2. Correct? No? I'm right. I'm right. So it doesn't matter. We are dividing by a negative number or multiplying to a negative number. Both situation, we should change the sign. Both of them. For multiplication, division of negative number, we have to change the sign. So, oops, we are done with chapter 2. But we have time. To move. No. Okay.
Come on, time.
Our class is from 12:30
To 1:45.
1:45. I'm a mathematician. Even 1 minute is important. You should understand.
But okay, so for the homework, we can finish.
We have a pop quiz now.
What?
I can do that.
No.
Why not?
Because
I'm instructor. I'm teacher. I can do anything I want. Torture my student. So let's solve this. All of you. All of you. Stop.
I'm starting.
Okay. Solve this one. Y over 3 plus 1 over 2 equal to 5 plus y minus 9 over 4. I want to find y. This is an equality. This is not inequality. Correct? This is just this expression equal to another expression. That is easy. Solve it fast. Come on. Don't complain. Come on. You too. Stop laughing. I said stop laughing. You are laughing now. Let's try to solve it.
Oh my god. I'm so stupid.
How are we going to turn this?
No, you are going to tell me your answer, and then I will understand who were listening these past two lectures.
Oh my god. I'm gonna cry.
You're just isolating one side, correct? That's it. The only difficulty is just separating this fraction. That's it. Done? What is the answer? Y, oh, y is equal to negative 14, y is equal to 26, y is equal to 27, y is equal to another 27? How many 27? This is the correct answer, huh?
How'd you do that? What the heck?
Okay, let's do this. So, how I can simplify that? I'm thinking about this denominator to get rid of them, correct? So, I know they have something in common. There's a number that like 4 multiplied 3 is 12, correct? Then 3 multiplied 4 is 12, correct? And then 2 multiplied something also gives us 12. So 12 is some common number between all of them, right? So let's multiply everything by 12 to get rid of those denominators.
Wait, 12 is common because why?
Because 2 multiplied 6 is 12. 3 multiplied 4 is 12. 4 multiplied 3 is 12. Correct?
Yes.
So 12y divided by 3 plus 12 divided by 2 equal to 12 multiplied 5 plus 12 multiplied y minus 9 divided by 4. Write it down exact same way as I wrote down. I know most of the students, they forget to multiply, for example, this 12 to both terms inside the parenthesis. Don't forget this. So, this one cancel with this one, we have 4y, correct? Plus 12 divided by 2 is 6, equal to 12 multiplied 5 is 60, right?
And then the fraction.
And then this one is the last one.
12 divided by 4 is 3. It's 3y minus 9.
Minus 3.
Oh, you distribute it.
Distribute this.
3y
Please,
minus
always.
27.
Yeah, I see my student always have this mistake. 4y plus 6 equals 60 plus 3y minus 27. Is this clear? Sure? So I'm going to bring this one to this side. So I have 4y minus 3y on this side. Correct? And I have equality.
Sorry.
3y goes to that side.
Yeah.
And then 6 also goes to this side. Correct? You have 60 minus 6 minus 27. Am I right? Do you see that? Is this correct? So now let's combine them. I have y. 4 minus 3 is just 1y, correct? Equal to 60 minus 6 is 54.
54 minus 27.
So y is 27.
27 plus 27 is 54. Oh.
2 multiplied 7 is 14, correct? So 4 is the last digit. So that's correct. Be careful. These parentheses are always tricky. Do we have? Okay, we are done. Okay, we'll see you on Monday. And when? No. What is today?
The 30th.
Today is Wednesday or Monday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh. Okay, we'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.